The cameras flashed, the crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood had a completely new obsession.
Oh, totally.
I mean, picture it. A $1.7 million Sicilian villa standing as this stunning, sun-drenched backdrop to the most secretive, talked-about romance in the world right now.
Yeah, absolute perfection.
Right. Inside those historic iron gates.
Yeah.
Just a masterpiece of luxury. But outside...
Well, that's where it gets complicated.
Exactly. Outside, a very different kind of noise was brewing. One that threatened to, basically shatter the whole pristine illusion.
It's like the ultimate modern celebrity paradox.
Yeah.
You have this flawless, meticulously curated fairy tale on the inside, and it's just colliding head-on with this messy, complicated reality just steps away.
And navigating that exact paradox is what we are doing today. Welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
All of it.
From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack a story that has, honestly, completely overtaken the cultural conversation.
It really has.
Pop superstar Dua Lipa recently revealed two incredibly simple pieces of advice that shaped her magical wedding to actor Callum Turner. But, to understand the true weight of that day, we really have to pull back the curtain.
We do. We need to look at the underlying mechanics of it all. The secret timeline of their romance, the high fashion choices that basically functioned as silent press releases.
Oh, the fashion was insane.
Right. And also the unexpected local backlash that their lavish celebration ignited. And honestly, that's not even the wildest part.
No, it's not.
Later in this deep dive, we'll talk about the surprising controversy outside the wedding venue that literally nobody saw coming.
It's such a wild contrast. But okay, before we can even touch those two wedding rules, we have to look at the incredibly cinematic way this couple actually came together.
Because it really does feel scripted. Yeah.
It does. It feels pulled straight from a Hollywood rom-com script. It starts with like a classic missed connection.
Right. The restaurant.
Yeah, their first meeting wasn't at some glamorous award show or an after party. It was actually at the River Cafe in London.
Which is such a specific vibe.
Totally. Dua's there, having dinner with her dad. Callum's there with his friends. And the restaurant's co-founder, Ruthie Rogers, actually introduces them.
Wow.
But the timing just wasn't right. It was just a brief thing.
Which is fascinating, right? When you think about how elite spaces operate. Like, the River Cafe isn't just a restaurant. It functions as this sort of informal networking hub for London's creative and cultural elite.
Yeah, it's an institution.
Exactly. It's a very closed ecosystem.
Right.
So an introduction there carries a certain weight, but it also requires the right variables to actually spark.
And the first time, the variables were just off.
Right. But the second time, the variables aligned in a way that, frankly, almost defies statistical probability.
Okay, yes. Because the second act takes place in Los Angeles.
Across the world.
Right. So Dua is having lunch with her friend, the musician Mustafa the Poet. Callum walks into the restaurant and he notices her. But more importantly, he notices what she's actually doing.
This is the best part.
She is reading a book called Trust by Hernan Diaz. And Callum happens to be reading the exact same book.
But wait, it gets better.
Yeah. Here's the kicker. He is on the exact same chapter.
I mean, come on.
I know. He later told the Sunday Times that he looked up and thought, the signs are loud, don't worry.
The signs are loud. That is just a brilliant phrase.
It really is.
Because think about the cognitive impact of that moment. You're in a foreign city, Los Angeles, completely far from your London home base.
Right.
You walk into a room, you find someone from your extended social circle engaged in the exact same intellectual pursuit, down to the specific chapter.
It's wild.
It creates this immediate, profound sense of being on a shared wavelength. It completely skips the superficial small talk.
You don't have to do the weather talk.
Exactly. It establishes an instant foundation of shared taste.
Okay, but I have to push back a little here.
Oh, go for it.
Because, we analyze a lot of these celebrity timelines. And reading the exact same chapter of the exact same Pulitzer-winning novel in an LA restaurant.
Yeah.
If this were a movie script, the studio would send it back for a rewrite.
Because it's too on the nose.
Way too on the nose.
Yeah.
Like, is the universe really sending these loud signs? Or is this just the inevitable collision of elite, insular Hollywood circles?
That's a fair point.
I mean, they share the same agents, the same stylists.
Yeah.
They are pointed toward the exact same trendy LA spots. It feels like an algorithm just, working perfectly in the physical world.
That is a highly analytical way to look at it, and honestly, you aren't wrong.
Right.
The circles are remarkably small.
Yeah.
And the cultural inputs, like critically acclaimed novels, they're often shared within those tight circles.
Exactly. Like a book club by osmosis.
Exactly. But whether it was divine intervention or just the statistical probability of the Hollywood bubble, what happened next was entirely calculated.
Oh, 100%.
The public escalation of this romance was an absolute masterclass in narrative control.
It really was. It felt like this slow drip of perfectly timed public appearances. It started in January 2024.
Right. The premiere.
Yeah. Callum is starring in Masters of the Air, and at the premiere after party, they are spotted slow dancing.
Just casually.
Exactly. Not posing on the red carpet. Just a candid moment. And then, a little while later, photographers catch them kissing outside Sushi Park in L.A.
Notice the restraint mechanism at play here, though. In celebrity public relations, there's this concept we can call the starvation principle.
What that?
By refusing to give the media an official statement, you artificially inflate the value of every single candid photo.
Because it's the only proof we have.
Right. When Callum was asked about the relationship directly, just days later, he simply said, no comment.
Classic.
They didn't rush to give interviews. They didn't sit down for a magazine spread.
Which made the May 2024 Instagram soft launch hit so much harder.
Oh,
Dua posts this standard photo dump, right? And tucked quietly inside is a picture of them walking together from behind, wearing matching leather jackets.
the leather jackets.
Yeah, and her caption is literally just sunshiny E with like bunch of smiley faces.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even tag his account.
Not tagging him is the ultimate power move in the current digital landscape.
It really is so confident.
It operates on the assumption of cultural ubiquity. Like, it tells the audience, I know you know who this is.
Right, I don't need to spell it out for you.
Exactly. I don't need to provide a hyperlink. And it forces engagement.
Yeah.
Because fans have to rush to the comments to confirm the identity.
Which boosts the post.
Through the roof. It drives the algorithm metrics completely crazy. They basically let the paparazzi and the strategic social media breadcrumbs do all the heavy lifting.
And then came Glastonbury in June 2024.
Oh, the Glastonbury PDA.
Exactly. Just them looking incredible, hanging out with the crowd, totally comfortable, but still not like putting out a press release. Yeah. They protected their privacy fiercely until they were finally ready for the hard launch.
And that hard launch was spectacular.
It was May 2025 at the Met Gala.
The Met Gala. Nothing says official like the Met steps.
Right. She steps onto the red carpet in this unbelievable black Chanel gown with a plunging halter neckline.
Stunning.
He is in a custom Louis Vuitton black suit. It was just this massive visual statement declaring their status as a Hollywood power couple.
It really cemented them.
And then, a month later, British Vogue confirms the engagement, featuring a custom ring Callum actually designed in secret with her sister and close friends.
See, that philosophy of total confident control that really defined their PR rollout, that is exactly what dictated their wedding experience.
Which brings us to the actual events.
Yes. They transitioned from a perfectly controlled public timeline to a perfectly controlled private event. And they split the celebration into two vastly different environments that effectively redefined modern celebrity nuptials.
The contrast is honestly staggering. Like on June 1st, 2026, they held a highly intimate civil ceremony at London's Old Marylebone Town Hall.
With how many guests again?
Just 8.
Just 8 people. Wow.
Right, just 8 guests. And then they turn around and fly to Palermo, Sicily, for a $1.7 million 3-day extravaganza at the historic Villa Valguarnera.
And this brings us to the core mission of today's deep dive.
Yes, the rules.
Because despite the massive difference in scale between those two events, both were governed by 2 specific pieces of advice that Dua shared with Vogue Italia.
Okay, let's hear them.
Rule number 1, experience the day as if you are guests yourself.
Oh, I love that, because when you think about the psychology of hosting an event, your brain is usually just trapped in executive function mode.
You're just managing crises.
Totally. You are managing the catering schedule, you're worrying about the weather, making sure relatives are behaving.
Right, the uncle who talks too much.
Exactly. But by actively adopting the mindset of a guest, you are basically granting yourself permission to completely abandon all that logistical anxiety.
Yes.
You step out of the role of the producer and you step into the role of the audience.
Precisely. It is this brilliant cognitive trick to just stay present. And rule number 2, completely supports that.
What's the second rule?
Constantly seek each other out in the crowd so you never lose sight of one another.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Because in high-stress, high-stimulus environments like, a multi-million-dollar wedding, it is incredibly easy for a couple to separate and just spend the entire night talking to different groups of people.
Right. You're dividing and conquering. And it makes you wonder how often we all get so caught up in the production of our own lives, right?
Oh, constantly.
Like a wedding, a major birthday, a big career milestone. We forget to actually form memories with the person we are celebrating with. By never losing sight of each other, they basically ensured their memories of the event were intrinsically linked rather than, completely fragmented.
It is a brilliant strategy for emotional grounding.
Truly.
But, okay, we cannot analyze this wedding without discussing how that same exact intentionality was applied to the visual storytelling.
Oh my gosh, the fashion.
The fashion choices were so highly strategic, starting with that London ceremony.
She completely abandoned traditional bridal expectations. For the civil ceremony, she wore this custom white Schiaparelli couture skirt suit designed by Daniel Roseberry.
Just iconic.
It was so cool. It featured a sharply tailored blazer, a high-low pencil skirt, and this wide-brimmed Stephen Jones hat.
Right, and fashion historians instantly drew parallels to Bianca Jagger's iconic 1971 wedding suit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because choosing tailoring over a traditional gown is a very specific kind of signaling.
How so?
It rejects the conventional sort of passive archetype of the princess bride. Instead, it communicates agency, sharpness, and a deep understanding of fashion history.
She wasn't just playing dress up.
Exactly. She didn't let bridal convention dictate her look. She forced the bridal category to bend to her established personal brand.
I mean, it was incredible. But then they arrive in Sicily, and the wardrobe styled by Lorenzo Pasocco, of course, just explodes into high glamour luxury.
Oh, the Sicilian looks were amazing.
So for the Thursday night welcome party, she wore a custom Bottega Veneta leather dress, but it was heavily adorned with feathers, and she carried a matching feather-trimmed clutch.
Such a statement.
And then for Sunday brunch, she shifted to this white lace sheer Chloe dress layered over a white ruffled bikini. And she carried a swan-shaped bag.
A swan-shaped bag. I mean, it was a masterclass in curated bohemian chic.
It really was.
Because the goal of that specific aesthetic is to spend an extraordinary amount of money to look entirely effortless and relaxed.
Right. I just threw this on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, the element that truly captured the attention of jewelry experts wasn't the feathers or the lace.
No.
No, it was her jewelry choice back in London.
Okay, yes. This is so interesting because she wore exactly one piece of jewelry.
Just one.
A Belvagari Serpenti necklace in 18-karat pink gold with 2 pear-cut emeralds. Obviously, she's a global brand ambassador for Belvagari, so that makes sense.
Right, it's expected.
But wearing this single piece was a massive departure from current trends.
It really is. It relies on a concept known as negative space.
Okay, explain that.
Think of it like an art museum. If you want a painting to absolutely command the room, you don't surround it with a dozen other paintings.
Right, you'd miss it.
Exactly. You place it completely alone on a massive blank wall. The emptiness around the object actually amplifies its importance.
Oh, yeah.
By leaving her chest bare and skipping earrings entirely, the negative space forced the viewer's eye directly to the emeralds.
It's a total rejection of that recent more bridal trend.
Yeah, the stacking trend.
Yeah, where we see brides stacking necklaces, layering bracelets, wearing multiple rings on every finger. By pairing that clean Schiaparelli tailoring with just one singular historic piece of jewelry, she made the necklace the undeniable anchor of the entire ensemble.
And we should definitely note the history of that specific design, too.
Oh, right, the Elizabeth Taylor connection.
Yes, the Blavagari Serpenti motif is deeply associated with Elizabeth Taylor, who famously wore a Serpenti watch while filming Cleopatra in Rome in the 1960s.
Such a flex.
It really is. Dua is deliberately placing herself in a lineage of bold, iconic women who command attention through singular, powerful statements rather than cluttered accessorizing.
It's so smart. By the way, if you are enjoying how we break down the hidden mechanics behind these Hollywood choices, make sure you are subscribed to the show.
Definitely subscribe.
Because we have got even crazier stories ahead. But right now, we really need to pivot.
Yeah, we do.
Because while the guests were experiencing this meticulously crafted, high-fashion fairy tale inside the Sicilian villa, a very real very angry reality was clashing with the gates outside.
This is the moment the narrative shifts from fashion and romance into a really complex socioeconomic reality.
Yeah, it's jarring.
Inside Villa Valguarnera, guests like Charlie XCX, Mark Ronson, and Donatella Versace were celebrating. But just outside, anti-over-tourism activists were staging protests.
The scene was incredibly tense. And, we really want to make it clear that we aren't taking sides on the politics of this here. We are just looking at the facts of the situation.
Right. We're just reporting what happened on the ground.
Exactly. So local residents were holding up signs reading, "Palermo is not for rent," and "Our square is not your living room."
Very clear messaging.
Very. And according to reports from The Guardian at page 6, pulling off an event of this magnitude required high-profile security measures, major street closures, and heavy restrictions that severely disrupted the daily lives of the residents.
To understand the mechanics of this protest, you really have to look at the economic concept of externalities.
Okay, break down externalities for us.
When a massive private luxury event takes over a historic city, it generates a public cost.
Right.
The security cordons, the redirected traffic, the strain on local infrastructure, those are costs paid by the people who live and work there year-round.
That makes sense.
So it creates an immediate tension between the economic benefits of luxury tourism and the very real disruption of local daily life.
It is essentially a split-screen movie where the two plots are directly competing for the exact same resources.
That's a great way to put it.
On the left side of the screen, you have this glamorous, sun-soaked A-list romantic comedy.
With Donatella Versace.
Right. But the luxury of that left screen can only exist by temporarily borrowing public space and resources from the right side of the screen, which looks like this gritty, real-world documentary about wealth disparity and local activism. Both realities were happening simultaneously, literally separated by just a few feet of stone and a line of security guards.
And we are seeing this conversation amplify globally.
Oh, absolutely.
As celebrity events become increasingly extravagant, the footprint they leave on local communities is facing unprecedented scrutiny.
It's not just Palermo.
Exactly. The protests in Palermo are just a localized flashpoint of a much broader debate regarding space, wealth, and who actually owns the cultural backdrops that the global elite use for their celebrations.
It definitely forces you to wonder how the couple internalizes that intense split-screen reality as they step into this next phase of their lives.
Yeah, how could you not?
Because the narrative is shifting for them professionally as well as personally.
Yeah.
Like Callum Turner, who is 36 now, was recently asked by Esquire UK about his goals for the next decade.
And what did he say?
Well, he didn't mention chasing Oscars. He didn't say he wanted to secure a Marvel franchise.
Really?
Yeah, he simply said more of the same, family.
Yeah.
He was very explicit about wanting to raise children and focus on that grounding.
That domestic grounded focus is actually mirroring a massive shift in Dua Lipa's artistic direction, too.
Oh, right, the new music.
She recently discussed how finding genuine love is fundamentally altering the way she approaches her songwriting.
Which is a critical pivot for her.
Yeah.
I mean, she built a massive multi-platinum pop empire on heartbreak.
New rules, all of it.
Exactly. As she noted, feeling broken is a very strong and loud emotion. It provides incredible high-octane fuel for those massive dance floor anthems.
Right.
But now, she wants to write about the complexities and the quieter aspects of a relationship, the subtle nuances of actual contentment.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because that artistic transition, it is incredibly difficult to execute.
Why is that?
Well, pop music, as a genre, relies on the extremes.
Oh, sure.
The euphoric high of a new crush or the devastating low of a breakup. Engineering a global pop hit out of the quiet, stable contentment of a healthy marriage, that requires an entirely different set of musical mechanics.
It really does. It is going to be fascinating to watch if she can pull it off.
I think she can, but it's a risk.
But, looking back at this entire journey, from the perfectly orchestrated PR rollout, to the psychological brilliance of those wedding rules, to the mastery of negative space in her fashion, it really leaves us with a totally different question to consider.
Yeah, because we just spent a lot of time analyzing how flawlessly they controlled what the public saw.
Exactly.
While completely shielding themselves from the messy reality outside those villa gates. They managed to curate their own mythology perfectly.
Which makes you wonder, what does this level of impenetrable control actually mean for the future of our relationship with celebrities?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right. For the last decade, the currency of stardom has been relatability.
Oh, definitely. Stars pretending to be just like us.
Exactly. Showing us their messy kitchens, posting unfiltered moments, crying on TikTok. But if a new era of megastars can manufacture the fairy tale, this perfectly engineering every paparazzi shot and silencing every single flaw, are we witnessing the death of the relatable celebrity?
That's a huge shift.
Are we entering an age where stars no longer even pretend to be human, but just fully embrace being untouchable architects of their own flawless myths?
Well, if the mastery of this wedding is any indication, the era of the messy, relatable pop star might actually be closing.
Replaced by something else entirely.
Replaced by something much more cinematic and entirely out of reach.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.